Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Homely 665 here with you today, and I'm doing a little video that's the main thing that I'm going to be doing is my Endwar announcement for what it's worth. If anybody's out there in particular that's concerned about my Endwar status, I'll be discussing that. And I was trying to come up with something that I could do for the video to sort of have something going on for you to see as I was talking. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of work on my Rapid Red. Again, this is my first venture into flywheels, and I'll pop it open here in a minute. I'm going to be working on the battery door a little bit, getting some more clearance on there in order to get a 2S LiPo in there easily. I've got those in. I've got one on the charger right now to try out. I'm also going to be popping this open. This has a Open Flywheel Project Morpheus cage that I purchased through Foam Freaks, and I got it, I put it together, and I didn't realize that the guide would shift while you're shooting. So I'm going to be popping this open. I'm going to be securing the guide in there. It's running Michelle 2.0s in that Morpheus cage, and out of Dart's Instantanto flywheels. This is, if I remember correctly, a 42.5 millimeter cage. You'll see that when I get it on open. I believe it'll have that stamped on there where it's printed. And then I have also ordered from Biggs NZ a trigger, a rev trigger, and a mag release to go with this, and those are going to be translucent orange. And I will probably, for safety's sake, go ahead when I get ready to paint this. I will probably paint this sight rail piece up here orange, and maybe my jam door as well, just kind of depending on how things go. We'll see how all that works out. But I want to be doing a voiceover for the rest of this video, and I'm going to have some stuff playing in the background while I'm talking or while I'm working on this. Just I'm going to have something going to keep me kind of entertained while I'm doing this, and then I'll cut a voiceover here in a little bit. So take it away, Homely. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this will be the voiceover for the video, and that's, as you can see, I'm working to super glue the guide on my Morpheus cage into the flywheel cage on my Rapid Red, and that's I take a little time. I have to go get a toothpick to help me kind of spread some of the super glue around once I get it started. But as I'm working here, I'm going to make my semi-official Endwar announcement. The other night I officially registered for Endwar and FoamCon. and I plan on attending those coming up here in a few weeks. I think we're close to a month out. My wife is going to be traveling with me, which I'm glad for. I'm going to be away on business during our anniversary, so this will be sort of an anniversary trip for us. But we will be going to FoamCon. That's the main point of this trip, is for me to go up there and meet with a few people while we have the opportunity. And I'm looking forward to seeing several people there. I know Jangular has announced he's going to be there. Brett, who sometimes wears a beret, is going to be going. I'm looking forward to meeting him. I wish some of the other nerfers in his area would be attending. One of them is a man by the name of Out of Darts, who you guys have heard me mention his Etsy store a few times. Darts is going to be there, and I sort of assume Brett will probably be floating around Darts' table, and maybe Foam Blast and Jangular and such as that, because Brett's not going to have a table of his own. He's more or less stated that he's going to be just around helping people. Look forward to meeting Brett. Seems like a great guy, like several of those Northwest nerfers do. I'm hoping Thunderdome Rob is going to be able to make it. I think he has said that he would possibly be going. I don't know that he's announced for sure that he has, that he is going, but I hope he is able to go, because I would like to meet Rob. Rob is very non-traditional about a lot of things, has a lot of different ideas and stuff like that, but I do like that he opens things up for discussion, and he's good about facilitating discussions. If you've ever seen any of his Real Talk videos, they're fantastic. He's able to kind of draw conversations out of people, and it's very good to watch. It takes a certain skill to be able to get people to conversate that way. I'm hoping the MTB guys, like Test Battle, hoping they're able to make it. I've not heard anything from them officially. I know Ryan was there last year. Hoping he'll be able to go again this year, and possibly Justin with him. I think it'd be cool to see those guys. Of course, it being Endwar, it being FoamCon, Drac is going to be there. He is a very significant celebrity in our hobby. Just to be able to meet him, possibly talk to him, shake his hand, because what he did with Endwar and FoamCon last year was a big help to several people that had been left holding a bag on a bad deal, and I applaud him for what he did there. He can be, to some, a polarizing personality, but he has done good things. I'm hoping Bobololo is going to be there, because I liked his tour of FoamCon last year. That was very interesting, and he did a good job of interviewing people and getting a feel for the convention as a whole there. Blown on Earth, Adam Fallow from Blown on Earth is going to be there. I like a lot of his content. He's a pretty decent seeming guy. I was going to be traveling through his area this summer, and I had hoped they were going to be having a war that weekend, but alas, they're going to be having it the weekend that I'm going to be in Iowa, and I'm going to be traveling through Bloomington to go there and to come back, and they have a war in between the 2 weekends that I'm traveling. So I've got to be in Iowa 2 weeks this summer, so I'm going to miss that. Zach from Naptown Nerf is going to be there. I like a lot of his content, like a lot of his modifications. He does some very beautiful work. Look forward to meeting him. And hoping Foam Blast is going to be there. They have really reached out and done a whole lot of good for the community as a whole. And I hope to be able to meet them and thank them in person. Michelle and Adriana are some top-notch people. I don't know them, never met them, but just from everything they've done for the community, from promoting motors, promoting modifications, they've got a shop, they sponsor a lot of people. You know, that's, if you go through the Patreons of some Nerfers, you will see them somewhere lurking in the list a lot of times. I know I've been a part of several live streams, and I've seen them drop in and drop some money to other Nerfers. I know that they have reached out to some people to help them go to FoamCon and Endwar this year. So, you know, Michelle and Adriana are saints in the hobby. I mean, they're spectacular for what they do. And then one that I tried to follow his posts last year. He was doing them through Facebook Live a lot, and it was kind of difficult for me to follow because I wasn't getting everything as it was being posted the whole time. But everybody's Uncle Clowny Nerf. I think he has said he'll be going this year. I hope that he does. I'd really like to meet him in person. He's done a lot of things to try to help people out, to try to promote the hobby, especially in his area. And the Christmas giveaway that he did to promote people donating blasters and toys to kids was a very heartfelt, very touching thing. And when he judged the reviews on Thunderdome on Facebook, he chose my review to get a Thunderdome patch. And since I had already received one through a purchase that I had made, I gifted him the patch. 'Cause he's such a great guy, and works behind the scenes in the community a lot of times, and sort of an unsung hero, I think. He's a good guy. I think highly of him, and I'd like to meet him. You know, there's going to be other people there that I want to meet, that I hope to meet. I've seen some comments and things like that. People in Discord servers. I don't really float through Reddit all that much. Facebook and YouTube are about the only social media things that I dig in. The only reason that I do videos on YouTube is I just like to get out and say things I think need to be said. But there are other people that are going to be going there that I'm hoping to see, that I think it'll be neat, that I've talked to online. I just watched TK1138's loadout video and Endwar announcement. He seems like a cool dude. Hope to maybe get to talk to him a little bit. I figure he'll be hanging out with the FDL people. I think I heard somebody say Mr. Nathan was going to be going. I've not heard anything official from him. Mr. Nathan, as many call him, is the Bob Ross of our community. He's very artistic, very calm, and does brilliant work. If he's there, it'd be cool to meet him, talk to him a little bit, because I like his opinion on a lot of things, and I like his encouragement to get people into doing not just performance modifications but cosmetic ones as well. Of course, I'm not a cosmetic person. I chose the name Homely for a reason. It's a play on some things anyway, but I've always sort of figured myself for being kind of homely, sort of ugly, so aesthetics and looks have always been something that have been beyond my grasp personally, but I can appreciate in the work of others. And I don't do very pretty work, but I appreciate what people like Mr. Nathan do, aesthetic wise. But if he's going, I would really like to meet him. Seems like a cool guy. There's a few others floating around, and I know there'll be other people set up at PhoneCon doing things that be good to talk to them, see their stuff. I don't know, depending on how much the trip costs me, I don't know how much I'll be able to pay for anything, to buy anything at PhoneCon, but I'd like to get a few little bits and pieces, because I know Containment Crew last year sold special flywheels, Containment Crew flywheels for Endwar. Hopefully they'll do something like that again this year, and I could pick something up and put it in a special blaster. But there's going to be a lot of people there. It's going to be a cool ordeal, and I hope to see some of y'all there as well that are watching. As far as a loadout goes, I've toyed with the idea, and as you can see in this video, I sort of screw the pooch on my Rapid Red a little bit. My positive lead on my XT60 connector comes out on me, so I'm going to have to resolder that. I toyed with the idea of my Rapid Reds, and I'm hoping to do a Fearless Fire to have sort of a Rebel type loadout. But I'm thinking about shying away from the flywheelers, because the only time that I have registered for Endwar has been Saturday morning. So I hope to be able to participate in it at all on Saturday. But I know I'm going to be up there for PhoneCon. I hope to be a part of Endwar on Saturday morning, and not knowing what the weather is going to be, what conditions are going to be like, things like that, I've decided to just travel light. If I was going to be running flywheels, I would have a Springer backup, but I've decided, since there's no telling what the weather will be, and I'll only be there for a limited time anyway, I'm just going to run Springer stuff. I've got an Artemis that has the out of darts stock attachment point and pump grip on it that I intend to run, and that, unless the Hades comes out sometime between now and then, that will be what I run. And if the Hades comes out, I don't know, it'll be debatable as to which that I do. But I'm looking at doing the Artemis with a stock on it. I don't know if I'm going to run a worker stock or a shorter retaliator stock on it. But I'll probably run that, have a dump pouch full of rival with me, and more than likely a Chronos. Again, since I'm going to try to load up a lot, it'll just be easier for me to do an all-rival loadout. The one that is sort of up in the air is my wife is going with me. She's not a nerfer at all, trying to figure out what a good loadout for her will be. Going to do something that will play up on her small stature. You know, she's not going to be able to carry just a whole lot, but she will be able to move relatively quickly. So I'm looking at, I've got a Dart Zone accelerator that's unmodified that might work for her, but again, that's a flywheel blaster. So I don't know what for sure I'm going to go with on her, but I'm going to look at some options and let her try some stuff out and see what works for her. See what she can use the easiest. But I hope to see you guys there. I hope this video hasn't been too rambling, and I hope everything kind of goes along with my what was going to be a rapid red fix and getting it ready to go. I did get my the battery door, I did get it sort of cleaned out more or less, and then I have put some epoxy putty in there, and that's, I hope that I got it in good enough and smooth enough that it will work for what I'm trying to do. But when I got finished with the Dremel, getting everything out of that battery door and getting some of the burrs and stuff, it was still a little bit rough, so I put some epoxy putty in there and smoothed it down to give a surface area that wouldn't be as likely to try to rub a hole in the cover of a lipo. And I think I have achieved that. But however, as you can see in the end of this video, in putting the lipo in and trying to get everything in place, I undid the positive lead, and I'm going to have to try to resolder that, and I'm not going to video me soldering because I do not feel comfortable soldering anyway just yet. I'm still kind of learning a few things, still trying to develop my technique a little bit, and when I get to where I'm more proficient at it and a little calmer about doing it, I might have some video of me soldering some blasters up. But otherwise, this has been your entertainment for the day, Homely 665, and I'm wishing y'all a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, and keep flinging foam. And this will go at the end of the video that I shot last night. Things took a little bit longer than what I intended to, and I'm going to add this in at the end. I had a little bit of trouble with some of my soldering. I'm still learning on that, but I did get my Rapid Red back together, got it soldered in, and with the Michel motors on 2S, as you can hear, it's humming quite nicely now. So I'm going to put some shots across the chronograph here, and I'm going to show y'all a little bit of data when I get finished with it here. I've got a 25 round drum of fresh AccuFakes, and we're going to see how this little blaster can do. Okay. That did not go anywhere near like what I would have liked. Apparently I'm still having some adjustment problems somewhere on my internals. I had a few that just barely flopped out. And then I had a few that did pretty well. My average came out to 76.89, which is barely over elite standard. Should be doing a lot better than that. I don't know what my problem is. My minimum was a 46 and my maximum was a 130. That's pretty bad. That's a spread of 84. There's a difference of 84 feet per second between my high and my low. We've got something going on there. I'm going to have to address. I'm going to have to figure out. And I've got several darts that come out looking like this. You can see where they've been bit into. I'm wondering if I might have my guide misaligned. I lined it up and super glued it in last night. That was part of the video I was doing. I made sure the wheels were spinning and they were clearing everything, but apparently I'm still a bit out on that. So I don't know. This is a relatively new build. I've probably put 50 darts through it at this point. I put about 10 or 15 through it and realized that the guide was loose. And you know, this was 25 fresh elites, or not elites, but fresh AccuFakes. You know, pulled them straight out of the package. They were brand new, looking good. You know, they started out looking all nice and neat like this, and then it appears that several of them are getting unlevel spots on them like that. They're being eaten up. I don't know. Now this was one AccuFake out of the pack that I had. It was from an old set that I'd ordered from Amazon a few months back, before I figured out about NF strike and Litake, but looks like that one's been chewed up and is a fresh dart. So ladies and gentlemen, that gives us our numbers. If any of y'all have any advice about what might be my issue, please drop a comment down below and let me know. Because again, this is my first flywheel build. It is using the Morpheus cage, and you know, I think the guide might be causing me some problems. I may have it misaligned or something like that. But if any of you guys have any advice, any tips, anything that I might need to check out, you know, drop me a comment below and I'll look at that and try to get back to you guys on that. And one last thing before I go, I saw Clowney had a video up last night. Rob from Thunderdome has been asking people on his Facebook page to drop some reviews of the movie, and he's offered an incentive, some prizes and things like that. One of the things that you can win is a Thunderdome patch. There's not too many of those left out in the wild, guys and gals. So if that's something that interests you, I recommend you go over to the Thunderdome Facebook page, and I'll try to have a link in the description. Leave him a review. You know, I'm not going to ask you guys to lie, but you know, if you can't be positive, you know, don't be hurtful about it. But if you've not seen the Thunderdome documentary, you can still leave a short review, because I'm sure you've seen some clips of it here and there, because it is circulated through the internet for quite a while now. But that was Rob's baby. He put a lot of work into that. It's a very good documentary, and I definitely suggest you check it out if you haven't. But pop over to his Facebook page, leave a review, and you'll be entered to win. They've got some Thunderdome stuff that they're giving away, and again, one of the things you can win is a patch, and those are pretty rare in the community. They carry a bit of weight. I won one through the last review that I did. I already had one, so I talked it over with Rob, and we sent that to Uncle Clowney. So because Clowney really deserves some recognition for what he does in the community. But this has been Homely 665. Hope to see some of y'all at Endwar. I will upload this video tonight, May 23rd. Hopefully it'll go ahead and hit tonight. And then I think I've got another video scheduled for either Thursday or Friday afternoon, where you guys will find out about some blasters that I modified and sent out to some people. But hope you guys have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening. Keep flinging foam, ladies and gentlemen.